Hi, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom, and you can see the beautiful flowering pomegranate trees is blooming in the back. It will actually bloom almost all summer, so it's a really nice tree. I will take some cuttings and make them into bonsai. I'm really pleased with the progress that we're making. We started this channel about 6 months ago, and I feel we have now a community going, so I want to be more relaxed, sharing thoughts that come to mind in a fairly informal way. I hope you don't mind. Basically, there are two very major objectives in my head. One is that I would like to see bonsai become a universal art form more than an Asian art form. It truly, if we open our mind, what nature could look like and reproduce them in a miniature form, it can truly be a very, very unique living art form. So I hope together we can share ideas. And the other thing is it's really a community builder where, like in bonsai clubs, I would say presidents of companies sharing best practices with janitors. It's really a wonderful way to build community relationship. And I also feel there's so much misinformation in the bonsai field where people took old ideas, never really given a second thought, and propagating it and insist people following the tradition. I think there's a real opportunity for us as a group to make a major difference in this art form. I think we'll really have an interesting community. With that in mind, then, let me go to the Q&A today for this session. So the first question is, I'm currently 33 years old, fed up with corporate life, so I'm trying to start my own bonsai business here in Switzerland. It is my favorite hobby, and I would love to provide food for my family through my passion. Do you have any advice for me on what I should do to reach my goal? Well, first of all, I thank you for asking me about business, which is my really also another passion of mine. I cannot give you a very specific recommendation about Switzerland, but I know bonsai is very popular in Europe. But I can give you some general principle from my business experience. One principle that I abide religiously is to be very conservative, live within your means so that you never run out of money. And then you build your business slowly, not try to force the issue, because beginning is, no matter how hard you push, you grow slowly. But as you get prepared, with a little bit of push, you can ramp very quickly. So start small, get to know the business, and when you have confidence and you understand what it works, then you scale the business. So, for example, there's a business in California called Magic Kingdom or Miniature Kingdom, started by an English lady with her husband in Petaluma. And they built a very successful business over the years selling miniature trees for, in a sense, some material for bonsai. And they are retired now, but so the idea of, in this case, is selling bonsai through nurseries where they sell other trees. So again, find ways to collaborate with the local nurseries to gradually build your business. That's my advice. The second one is, this is about your propagation forest, and that's Alfonso, 1981. It says, always love your video, very professional and informative. And I was wondering if this can be done during summer or any other season. Thank you for sharing. And the next one is about, when can I propagate trees, so the two are the same. Trident maple and most maples and deciduous trees can be cut with, can be propagated very readily with semi-hard wood. That means in the spring when there's a long shoot, you cut it at the bottom, that's semi-hardened wood. They are very easy to root. And I will show you the cuttings on the trident maple I did about 5 weeks ago. They already rooted. It's that easy. So, in the fall and winter time, you can do the hardwood cutting which takes a little bit longer to root, and therefore that means they won't root till next spring. So you have to keep an eye on it in the meantime. So I think the best time to do it is really in the springtime using semi-hardwood. In fact, I will announce in this Q&A session that we will start a project of many different kinds of forests: elm, trident maple, Japanese maple, Zelkova, and for that matter, juniper forests, massive forests as a project. So you will see how to do that, because forest is one of the popular bonsai subjects. The next question is on, apart from sandy loam, I can't find any sandy loam in my area, so what should I be using? Well, in China, what I recall was that they use the sediment, the muck, basically, in the bottom of a lake where they grow carp for food. And so that's basically mixing muck, in this case, with silt, yeah. And that's basically silt, which you can find at lots of places near river. Silt, muck, peat moss, sand, topsoil. These are all good material to provide dense material for the roots to grab onto, and yet it will drain. Don't worry too much about drain. I think we overemphasize drainage by adding a lot of coarse organic material. Water actually runs out and don't get absorbed in that case. So when you do that, you have to compress them very tightly so that water will stay, rather than drains out very quickly. So you can use a variety of materials so long as you use your head to figure out how to retain the water and keep the soil moist. And so anything will work. Don't worry too much about the word sandy loam. Sandy loam is just a mixture of sand and loam and muck that you can gather in various forms. What about your Yaduri video? I did a similar work on my Yaduri juniper, and it was dead within a month. I was later told that I was being too aggressive. I got two similar video. This one, I'm not sure what aggressive means, which means dug it up too early or cut off too much roots. But another video I got, another Q&A I got was about I cut off too many branches out of my juniper. And the thought was that the idea is that you have to keep, prune no more than 25% at a time, or you damage the tree. That is actually absolutely untrue. You can prune a tree as hard as you can, and then it will grow up. You will actually do more harm if you do not prune enough to compensate for the root loss. So when you dig trees, the way to play it safe is that plant in advance. What you can do is to dig around the tree, or maybe dig two sides at a time, and then water a while to let the fibrous roots grow near the tree. For example, you will never put a tree bigger than the pot. So you can cut around the pot using a chainsaw, using a reciprocal saw, and then water it, let's say a couple of months in advance. Then the fibrous roots will grow. So when you dig it, you will have fibrous roots near the trunk, and it will never die. And then you can cut off as much branch as you like, because that is my process, which is subtractive, reducing the branches, and additive, let it grow out. And that is my method, and it works. So don't worry about it, just go for it, but be well prepared. That will save you from losing the tree. Next one, I had bought a trident maple with some good line curved branches, but from halfway up the branch, heavily scarred from the cellar wiring. Would these heal or not? So basically that happens a lot. Most people leave their wire on too long. They leave it on a year or several months or a year or two. It will eat into the branch. Actually, if you really look at it, you remove the wire in a month or two, it should keep the branch in place pretty close. And this way you can avoid scarring the branches. Well, my point is why fool with something that isn't working? It will never go away. It will go away some. In a sense, it would become more supple. In a sense of it would push up. But cut them off, start over again, then you have a nice tree without any scarring. And that is my philosophy to create dramatic trees. When I have a tree that I can never figure it out right, I cut it off. At the bottom, I will have a nice base to start with, and then nice taper afterwards. So, you know, it's trading off. Why fool around with a mediocre tree, but allow you the time to focus on great trees, right? So that's my philosophy. Why the juniper looks so sick, too many branches that are died off, is that due to plague or recent transplant? Well, it happens when a tree is not well. It's trying to save itself by rejecting some of the branches, so the branches died off. And what I do is that when you make lemonade, don't cut off too many of the dead branches, but save at least some of it to make into jins as part of your design. And in some sense, the tree died off and then new growth come underneath of it. But my suggestion is to cut back some of the trees to get to the design you like and plant it in good soil, keep it water and fertilize it and start over again and use the dead branches as jin. The next one is, as always, an excellent video with in-depth information, which would be good if you follow up with another detailed video on how to create paths on conifer, please. That's what I would do. I would take one of my junipers I dug up about a year ago to make into an upright bonsai. And in fact, that would be the beginning of my forest project, and to show you how I make juniper with some growth into paths, as most what you see in bonsai plants, bonsai photos. Won't be a lot of juvenile foliage grow if you remove so much of the foliage at one time from a mature juniper like what you did. Yes, when I cut off a lot of the branches, all of the new branches coming off would tend to be the juvenile leaves, which is really actually quite attractive. They're green and young looking and green, but they will eventually, in a year or two, get back into the scale leaves. So it's okay, but again, cutting off a lot of the branches, part of my technique to get to build a framework structure of my design. That means I build a base, let it grow out, and build up the base again and again. And that's how I layer the construction of my design. This is about your trident sumo. For those big branches cut off in the past, did you seal the wound? Looks like you left them raw. Looking forward to see the tree in a few months. First of all, no, I don't seal them because I found that's very contrived. Trident is actually really good. When you cut it and it grows, it actually heals over the wound, like rounded. So I try to not cut them into oval or round circle, but in R shape so they can heal abnormally. So sometimes I cut it, I will peel it to look at more natural, like breaking off. And not only that, it covers up very quickly. Literally in 5 weeks, you can't even see the trunk. And then I had to cut it back again to keep the design. So don't worry too much about the wounds. If it bothers you, I suppose you can seal it, or you can wait until it's healed over quite a bit and then seal it so you don't see the artificial material. This ends this week's Q&A. I thank you for listening. If you think it's informative, please like. I need encouragement, and send me and comment so I know what you like to, or your reaction. Ask me what to talk about in the future so that I can be more informative to address what you're interested in. Thank you, and see you soon next week. Thank you. Bye.